Coaches have always been some of the most influential and powerful people in my life. And I realized last week as I was interviewing another health coach like myself that I hadn't ever really talked about what health coaching actually is and why you would want to consider getting one. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex Ridley, the host of Rejuvenated Women, Impeccable Health for High Performing Women. This is episode 49. And today I just wanted to dive in a little bit to why I became a health coach and what it actually is, and why you might want to consider adding that to your life if it's not something that you've done before. You know, we tend to think of coaches in the sports arena, and that was certainly my first exposure to them. My former soccer coaches are still to this day some of the most influential people in my life, just from my transformative years, those teen years that are so hard. But there's a lot of other ways that we can use coaching. And, you know, over the years, I've had business coaches, I've had life coaches, I've had relationship coaches. There's all kinds of different ways that you can utilize coaching. And I wanted to talk, you know, for me, it was a really profound experience when I decided to become a certified women's health coach through the Integrative Women's Health Institute. And one of the most profound, again, I was looking for another word, but, you know, profound things that I really got out of that experience was realizing the difference between a health coach and a doctor. Because, you know, and in my doctor world and in my doctor hat, we're very trained to be the authority to, you know, tell people what to do. And people come to us looking for that. And that's totally fine. There's a time and a place for that. Health coaching is this thing that kind of, it bridges the gap between, you know, knowing what you should do and being told what to do and figuring out how to actually do it. What I really love and have loved, you know, in the last couple of years working as a health coach, both as an alternative medicine practitioner and health coach, is that it changes the conversation when we are able to approach you and your goals and your health and what you really are trying to accomplish from the perspective of, okay, how do we come alongside you and partner with you rather than just tell you what to do? Because I don't know how many of you have probably had this experience, but, you know, you go into a doctor's office and they say, hey, you know, this is going on. You need to lose weight. This is just the really basic example. And that's it, right? They're like, go lose weight. And you're like, okay, how am I supposed to do that? And then, you know, they might recommend some things like you got to eat differently or exercise more, eat less, exercise more is usually the thing. We've talked ad nauseum on the show about why that's not always the answer, especially for us ladies. But, you know, you're kind of left with, okay, well, I've got these things to do now. How do I go do that? And maybe it's motivation that you lack, or maybe it's knowing where to start, or maybe it's you've got so much going on, you don't even know where to start, or maybe you've tried a bunch of stuff and nothing seems to be working. And so you're stuck. In any of those places and scenarios, what coaching really does is it comes alongside you where you're at and helps you kind of hone in on what really needs your focus. Maybe try some new things, maybe look outside the box or brainstorm some new stuff, but really helps you get back on track and actually achieve the goals and actually, you know, get to the point, to the dream, to the future, to whatever that vision is that you have for yourself in your life and in your future. And it's not about dictating or telling you like, you need to do this. It's about really just supporting you in what you actually want to do. Because the big thing that they found with, you know, lifestyle change, with actually achieving, you know, some of these goals or creating new habits, all of these things, is that on some level, it has to be driven by us. We have to be willing to do the thing, to make the changes, to, you know, put in the work in order to achieve this. And if we're not, we end up failing and feeling frustrated and not getting to where we want to be. Part of what's sparking this conversation for me is, and just me wanting to share this with all of you, is I, over the weekend, actually sat for the National Board Exam for Health and Wellness Coaches. It's not really a required thing yet, but I decided I'd go ahead and take it because I think they're making some changes in the future. And I was like, I may as well take it now while I still can. But it was literally 150 multiple choice questions, you know, with different scenarios of health coaches and essentially asking, how would you handle the situation? And, you know, there's so many examples of people in different stages whether they've been doing really well and through a lot of health coaching and gotten some support and are like feeling like they can go out in the world and maintain this and be healthy and stay on track, to people who are like, my doctor told me I need to be here and I don't know why I'm here. I still haven't met a physician who's actually referring to health coaches yet, but I'd like to think that they are out there. And so no matter where you fall in that gamut, what coaching can do is help spur you forward more quickly. The idea behind coaching is that we stop running around in circles trying to figure it all out by ourselves, right? If you think about like the Super Bowl was yesterday, if they didn't have a coach who trained the team and taught them the plays and could, kind of see big picture and help them brainstorm through all that, like, I don't even remember who won. I think it's the Buccaneers who won. I'm not a football person, but the teams wouldn't have been in the position to get to the Super Bowl, right? They'd be like running around with like chickens with their heads cut off, scratching their head. This is a terrible analogy, but we're just going to go with it. And health coaching is the same way. Like so many of the women that I work with end up, they've been running around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying keto and trying intermittent fasting and trying XYZ with their diet or with exercise or with all these things, and just feeling like they're getting nowhere, and like they don't really know what they want to be doing because they're doing all the things they feel like they should be doing, and in the end it doesn't actually propel them forward. It just leaves them stuck. So if you resonate with any of this, I wanted to share, we're actually coming up on our 1-year anniversary this week of this show, and I'm really excited about that. But one of the things I wanted to do just in honor and celebration of that is, in talking about this thing called health coaching, if this is new to you, and this is specific to those who have not actually worked with me in the past, I'm giving away this month, in the month of February, an opportunity to love on yourself. All right. And so I'm going to open up 5 spots for a complimentary 45-minute coaching session with me. And you can, if you haven't ever experienced what it's like to have a health coach and with me, and there's a lot of practitioners out there who have become health coaches, and part of that reason is that for me it was really frustrating in practice, because when you're running in the insurance world and dealing with all that stuff, it's like time is money. So I was running on 10-minute appointment slots, and it's not enough time to really help somebody with whatever's going on that had them be in my office in the first place. So what I really love about coaching is that opportunity to just take the time and develop like what's really going on, what do we really need to focus in on, hone in on, and help give you some guidance and perspective. So back to what I was saying, in celebration of loving ourselves and it being February, I'm opening up 5 slots on my calendar for a complimentary 45-minute coaching session with me. And how you get a hold of this, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening on the podcast, is you're actually going to send me an email, and this will be in the show notes, but send an email to Dr. Alex at emergentwomenih.com. That's Dr. Alex at emergentwomenih.com. And just say, hey, I want in on the complimentary session, or whatever you want to tell me, and we'll actually set that up. And the reason I'm doing this is not to be gimmicky or weird or any of those things. For so many of us, we never get the opportunity to experience coaching or something outside the box or something on this level. And maybe you've thought about it or you haven't thought about it, but you feel like it's time to do something new. So there's 5 of those. The first 5 people that contact me, that's that. And we will do that. And this might be something I do occasionally, periodically from here on out, but I just want, my kid is talking to my dog in the background, but we're just going with it because that's the year that it's been, right? 2020, 2021, we got this. In any case, I, encourage you to try something new. And especially if can you do changing your health and your lifestyle and all that stuff without a coach? Sure, you can. That's kind of how I got in. Well, no, I got into it because I was trying to figure out how to do that on my own. And so I became a health coach. But, people are capable of that. That happens. But if you're feeling stuck, if you want a fast track, if you want direction, if you feel like you need some accountability and some support and some motivation, then I invite you to take advantage of chatting with me, being one of those 5 people, and just really take a look at taking control of your health and your life this year, because it can make such a huge difference. So thank you for joining me. We will be back next week with episode 50, which I'm really excited about. And so it'll be something new and, again, exciting. We're gonna do a celebration for that one, and we will see you then.